Have you ever wondered what exactly is happening inside your mind in the quiet space between your thoughts? When you lie awake in the profound silence of the night, listening to the gentle rhythm of your own breathing, you might feel a profound sense of stillness. Your body is resting, your eyes are closed, and the world around you has faded into the dark. Yet, inside your mind, a vast and ancient universe is constantly at work. You experience memories, you feel emotions, and you drift through the endless landscapes of your imagination. But what is this invisible realm we call consciousness? Is it simply a biological process? Or is it something deeper, something intricately woven into the very fabric of the cosmos itself? It is a mystery that has puzzled humanity for thousands of years. We feel completely contained within our bodies, yet our minds can travel across billions of light years in a single instant, exploring the distant edges of the observable universe without ever leaving the quiet comfort of our beds. Before we continue on this quiet journey into the deep mysteries of the mind and the cosmos, I want to gently introduce myself. You are listening to Theodore, the researcher. As we explore these vast cosmic landscapes together, I noticed that about 71% of the gentle souls who join us on these nocturnal voyages have not yet subscribed to our channel. If you find peace and wonder in these explorations, please consider subscribing. It helps us tremendously to keep bringing you these quiet stories of the universe, allowing our community of curious cosmic explorers to grow. Now, take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax, and let us return to the gentle dark of the cosmos. To truly understand the mystery of consciousness, we must first look at the physical architecture of the human brain, a structure so unfathomably complex that it rivals the vastness of the cosmos itself. Inside your head, right at this very moment, exists a network of approximately 86 billion neurons. Each one of these microscopic cells is a tiny, living processor, firing electrical impulses and chemical signals in a ceaseless, quiet symphony. These neurons are connected to one another through trillions of synapses, creating a web of communication that is constantly shifting, strengthening, and evolving based on every experience you have, every emotion you feel, and every thought that drifts through your mind. When you imagine the scale of 86 billion neurons, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. To put it into perspective, if you were to count every single neuron in your brain, one by one, at a rate of 1 per second, without ever stopping to sleep or to eat, it would take you almost 3,000 years to finish counting. This is the sheer magnitude of the universe that exists within you. It is a quiet, hidden realm, operating in total darkness beneath your skull. Yet it generates the vibrant, colorful, and infinitely complex reality you experience every single day. As we contemplate the staggering complexity of the human brain, we cannot help but look upward, turning our gaze toward the infinite expanse of the night sky. For decades, astronomers using powerful instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope and, more recently, the James Webb Space Telescope, have been mapping the large-scale structure of the universe. What they have found is a revelation of profound beauty and staggering implications. When scientists map the distribution of galaxies across billions of light years, they do not find a random scattering of light in the void. Instead, they see a highly organized, intricate pattern known as the cosmic web. Galaxies, which are massive collections containing hundreds of billions of stars, are not isolated islands. They are bound together by invisible threads of dark matter, forming colossal filaments that stretch across the darkness of intergalactic space. Where these filaments intersect, they form massive nodes, which are the superclusters of galaxies, glowing with the combined light of trillions of ancient suns. Between these glowing filaments lie the cosmic voids, vast regions of empty space that span hundreds of millions of light years across. The mystery deepens when we place a microscopic image of a neural network in the human brain side by side with a computer simulation of the cosmic web. The visual similarity is not just striking, it is an invitation to profound wonder. Both systems consist of interconnected nodes, which are the neurons in the brain, and the galaxy clusters in the universe. Both systems are organized into complex filaments that transport energy and information. In the brain, electrical and chemical signals travel along axons and dendrites, creating the emergent property we call thought. In the universe, gravity and dark matter guide the flow of primordial gas and ancient starlight, shaping the evolution of galaxies over billions of years. While the forces governing these two systems are entirely different, with electromagnetism and biology on one hand, and gravity and general relativity on the other, the underlying mathematical principles of their network structures bear a haunting resemblance. This similarity invites a beautiful, contemplative question. If the universe is structured like a giant brain, could the universe itself possess some form of consciousness? The renowned astrophysicist Carl Sagan once famously observed that we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. This is not merely a poetic metaphor, it is a rigorously profound scientific truth. For almost 14 billion years, the universe evolved through a quiet, mindless process of physical laws playing out in the dark. The Big Bang brought forth an expanding sea of pure energy, which eventually cooled to form the simplest elements, mostly hydrogen and helium. These primordial gases were pulled together by the gentle, persistent force of gravity, igniting the first generation of stars. Deep within the searing hot cores of these ancient stars, nuclear fusion forged heavier elements. The carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and iron that are absolutely essential for life were manufactured in these stellar furnaces. When these massive early stars exhausted their fuel, they exploded in magnificent supernovas, scattering their elemental riches across the vastness of space. Over billions of years, this stardust gathered into new solar systems, forming planets with solid surfaces, liquid oceans, and thick atmospheres. On at least one of these rocky worlds, the chaotic dance of chemistry gave rise to biology. Molecules organized themselves into cells, cells into complex organisms, and organisms into conscious beings. You are the direct result of this 14 billion year cosmic journey. The iron in your blood and the calcium in your bones were literally forged in the hearts of dying stars. You are not just living in the universe, you are the universe. You are star stuff that has miraculously awakened, opened its eyes, and begun to wonder about its own existence. When we ask what universal consciousness is made of, we are really asking about the fundamental nature of information and experience in the cosmos. In the quiet solitude of the night, as you listen to my voice, your brain is processing acoustic waves, converting them into electrical signals, and extracting meaning from the patterns of words. This is a process of information decoding. Some theoretical physicists and philosophers suggest that information might be a fundamental property of the universe, just like mass, energy, and electrical charge. In this view, the universe is not just a collection of dead matter moving blindly through space. It is a vast, interconnected system of information processing. Every time a star emits a photon, every time a black hole swallows a cloud of gas, and every time a planet completes an orbit around its sun, the universe is computing its own future state. If consciousness is, at its most basic level, the integration of complex information, then perhaps the capacity for experience is woven into the very fabric of reality itself. We, as human beings with our 86 billion neurons, represent a highly concentrated, localized pocket of this universal information processing. We are the universe experiencing itself in high definition. This perspective offers a deep sense of intellectual safety and inner peace. You do not need to fear the vastness of the cosmos, because you are an integral, inseparable part of it. The silence of the night is not an empty void. It is the quiet canvas upon which the universe paints the continuous masterpiece of existence. As you rest tonight, let your mind drift into the comforting thought that your quietest dreams are an extension of the infinite. As you lie there, resting in the quiet sanctuary of your room, you can feel the soft weight of the blankets resting against your skin. You feel the gentle, reassuring support of the mattress beneath you, holding you safely as the night deepens around your home. Your physical senses tell you a very convincing story about the world. They tell you that the bed is solid, that your body is a dense and defined object, and that the space between you and the walls is empty. But science reveals a mystery that completely contradicts our everyday human experience. Have you ever wondered what you are actually touching when you feel something solid? If we could shrink you down to the size of a single atom, the illusion of solid reality would instantly vanish, replaced by a vast, unimaginable emptiness. The atoms that make up your body, the blankets, and the very earth beneath you are almost entirely composed of empty space. To be precise, an atom is 99.9999999% empty space. If you were to remove all the empty space from the atoms of every single human being on Earth, all 8 billion of us could be compressed into a volume no larger than a single sugar cube. It is a paradox that defies common sense, yet it is the absolute, rigorously proven truth of our physical reality. We are ghosts of matter, navigating a world that is fundamentally composed of nothingness, bound together by the invisible forces of nature. Before we dive deeper into this beautiful quantum emptiness, I want to take a brief moment to welcome you again to our quiet journey. I am Theodore, the researcher, and it is a profound honor to guide you through the cosmos tonight. I have noticed that about 71% of the curious minds who watch these videos have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this peaceful exploration brings you a sense of calm and wonder, please consider subscribing. It truly helps us continue to create these gentle nocturnal voyages, allowing our community of cosmic dreamers to grow and explore together. Now, let us return to the quiet mystery of the solid world that is not truly solid at all. When your hand rests upon your chest, feeling the steady, rhythmic beating of your heart, the atoms of your hand never actually touch the atoms of your chest. What you are feeling is not solid matter touching solid matter, but rather the invisible repulsion of electromagnetic fields. The electrons in the outer shells of your hand's atoms are pushing away from the electrons in the outer shells of your clothing and skin. You are, quite literally, hovering a microscopic fraction of a millimeter above your bed right now, suspended by the fundamental forces of the universe. This is a profound scientific paradox that challenges our basic perception of reality. We navigate a world that feels heavy and immovable, yet at its most fundamental level, it is a ghostly dance of energy fields and probabilities. The solid world is a gentle illusion created by the interaction of invisible forces in the vast, quiet emptiness of the microscopic realm. When we think about universal consciousness, we must consider this emptiness not as a void, but as a space of infinite potential. In quantum physics, empty space is never truly empty. It is a bubbling, dynamic ocean of virtual particles popping into and out of existence in a fraction of a second, guided by the elegant rules of quantum mechanics. This quantum vacuum is teeming with energy, a quiet, restless sea of infinite possibilities that forms the foundation of everything we can see, touch, and measure. This microscopic emptiness beautifully mirrors the staggering vastness of the cosmos on a grand scale. Just as your body is mostly empty space, so too is the universe. As you drift towards sleep, try to imagine the immense, quiet distance between our sun and its closest stellar neighbor, a small red dwarf star named Proxima Centauri. That distance is roughly 24 trillion miles, or about 4.24 light-years away. If you were to shrink our sun down to the size of a single grain of sand, Proxima Centauri would be another tiny grain of sand sitting more than 4 miles away. The space between them is a profound, quiet dark, filled only with the faintest whisper of cosmic dust, ancient photons, and the invisible presence of dark matter. Yet, despite this overwhelming emptiness, the universe feels deeply and fundamentally connected. The renowned astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson once beautifully articulated that we are biologically connected to every other living thing in the world. We are chemically connected to all molecules on Earth, and we are atomically connected to all atoms in the universe. We are not simply living in the universe. The universe is living within us. This realization is not meant to make you feel small or insignificant in the face of such vastness. Instead, it is a gentle invitation to feel a profound sense of belonging. The very same electromagnetic forces that keep you suspended above your bed tonight are the exact same forces that govern the behavior of superheated plasma in the heart of distant galaxies. As we journey deeper into the mystery of consciousness, we inevitably encounter one of the most beautiful and perplexing enigmas in all of modern science: the observer effect in quantum mechanics. In the early 20th century, pioneering physicists discovered something that shattered our classical understanding of reality. They found that the very act of observing a quantum system fundamentally changes its behavior. Particles of light, called photons, can act as both waves rippling through an invisible pond and as solid, discrete particles, depending entirely on whether or not someone, or something, is measuring them. This counterintuitive scientific fact suggests a deeply profound existential implication. The universe seems to know when it is being watched. It responds to our gaze. Some brilliant theoretical minds have hypothesized that consciousness is not merely a late-stage byproduct of complex biological computation, but rather a fundamental ingredient of the cosmos itself. Just as space and time are the fabric of reality, perhaps consciousness is the thread that weaves the observed universe into physical existence. Without an observer, without a conscious mind to perceive the light of a distant star, does the beauty of that star truly exist in the way we humanly understand it? Does reality require a witness to become real? It is a question that invites respectful wonder and quiet contemplation, rather than demanding a definitive, absolute answer. When you look up at the night sky, you are not just a passive audience member watching a silent cosmic play unfold from a distance. Your observation is an active, vital participation in the reality of the universe. Consider the photons of light traveling from the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest massive galactic neighbor, Those tiny packets of energy have traveled through the freezing silence of intergalactic space for over 2 million years. They have crossed millions of light years of absolute emptiness, dodging clouds of cosmic dust and navigating the warped space-time of deep gravitational wells, only to complete their epic, ancient journey the very moment they strike the retina of your observing eye. In that fleeting, miraculous instant of perception, a part of the universe has successfully reached out and touched another part of itself. Your conscious mind is the ultimate destination of that ancient light. When you close your eyes and let the silence wash over you, that cosmic connection does not simply end. It merely turns inward. The vast, unexplored galaxies of your own thoughts, memories, and dreams are constructed from the exact same fundamental energy that powers the brightest quasars at the very edge of the observable universe. The mystery of universal consciousness remains beautifully, perfectly unsolved. It is a cosmic puzzle that invites us to keep learning, to keep wondering, and to maintain a gentle humility before the profound unknown. We do not need to possess all the answers to find peace in the majesty of the questions. The limitations of human knowledge are not a source of frustration, but rather a comforting reminder that the journey of scientific and philosophical discovery is an infinite, endless path. There will always be more to explore, more to understand, and more beauty to uncover in the gentle dark of the cosmos. As you drift closer to the peaceful shores of sleep, carry this profound intellectual safety with you. You are a conscious manifestation of ancient starlight, a quiet observer intricately woven into the very fabric of reality, resting safely on a beautiful rocky world that floats through an endlessly fascinating universe. Breathe in the deep mystery of existence. Breathe out the tension and worries of the day, and let the gentle, ancient current of cosmic time carry you softly into the quiet depths of a restful, restorative night. You're exactly where you're meant to be, participating in the grandest, quietest journey imaginable. Have you ever closed your eyes in the stillness of the night and found yourself suddenly transported to a memory from years ago? A childhood home, the scent of rain on a warm summer evening, or the gentle sound of a loved one laughing. In that quiet moment of remembering, the physical barriers of time and space seem to dissolve completely. Your physical body is resting softly beneath the covers, yet your conscious mind is effortlessly traversing decades of time and thousands of miles of distance in a fraction of a second. It is a profoundly human experience, this ability to be in two places at once, anchored in the present while wandering through the past. But what if this mental time travel, this beautiful defiance of physical separation, is not just a quirk of human psychology? What if the feeling of being deeply connected to something far away is actually a fundamental property of the universe itself, written into the very mathematical code of reality? Before we explore this deeply beautiful scientific paradox, I want to pause for a brief moment to welcome you. I am Theodore, the researcher, your companion on this quiet journey through the cosmos. I have noticed that about 71% of the gentle souls who join us for these late-night explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If you find comfort and wonder in these peaceful scientific stories, please consider subscribing. It helps us tremendously to keep bringing you these quiet reflections, allowing our community of cosmic wanderers to grow and share in the mystery together. Now, let us return to the gentle dark and explore the invisible threads that connect the universe. Let us imagine the sheer vastness of the physical distances that separate the stars in the night sky. If you were to travel at the speed of light, which is roughly 186,000 miles per second, it would still take you over 4 years just to reach the nearest star system to our sun. The universe is defined by these unimaginable gulfs of empty, quiet space. For centuries, classical physics taught us a very lonely truth, that objects are fundamentally isolated, that physical distance separates everything permanently, and that absolutely nothing can communicate faster than the cosmic speed limit of light. But as scientists began to peer deeper into the microscopic realm, into the bizarre and counterintuitive world of quantum mechanics, they discovered a mystery that completely shattered our conventional understanding of separation. They discovered a phenomenon so strange, so deeply unsettling to classical human intuition, that Albert Einstein himself famously dismissed it as spooky action at a distance. This phenomenon is scientifically known as quantum entanglement. When two subatomic particles like photons of light or electrons are created together or interact in a specific, precise way, their physical states become mathematically and irrevocably linked. They become part of a single, unified system, regardless of how much physical space eventually separates them. If you were to take one of these entangled particles and keep it right here on Earth, safely stored in a quiet, dark laboratory, and send its partner across the cosmos to the Andromeda Galaxy, over 2 million light-years away, their deep connection would remain perfectly intact. If you were to measure the spin or the momentum of the particle here on Earth, the entangled partner residing in Andromeda would instantly, in zero time, assume the corresponding state. Not a second later, not a fraction of a millisecond later, but simultaneously. The particles communicate without any physical signal passing through the vast, dark silence between them. They do not send a message across the void. They simply know. It is a profound paradox that defies everything we experience in our everyday lives, where everything seems separate, distinct, and bound by the slow passage of time. This extraordinary concept is not just a mathematical theory or a philosophical thought experiment designed to confuse us. It is a rigorously tested scientific reality that has been proven time and time again by brilliant researchers all over the world. In recent years, scientists have utilized highly advanced space technology to prove this connection on an unprecedented global scale. Using a specialized scientific satellite named Mikus, launched into orbit by researchers collaborating across international borders, scientists successfully beamed entangled photons from the cold, quiet vacuum of space directly down to receiving ground stations on Earth. They meticulously measured these paired particles separated by a staggering distance of over 1,200 kilometers, even across that vast geographical divide, passing through the dense layers of the Earth's atmosphere and the silent expanse of low Earth orbit. The particles remained perfectly, instantaneously connected. Erwin Schrödinger, one of the brilliant founding fathers of quantum mechanics, once profoundly stated that he did not call entanglement one, but rather the characteristic trait of quantum mechanics, the one that enforces its entire departure from classical lines of thought. This deeply counterintuitive scientific fact forces us to pause and ask a staggering existential question. If the most fundamental building blocks of the cosmos can exist in a state of absolute, non-local connection, completely defying the human illusion of spatial separation, what does this mean for the true underlying nature of reality itself? And even more profoundly, what does it mean for the nature of universal consciousness? When we feel a deep, inexplicable connection to another living being, or when we experience a moment of profound, wordless unity with nature while walking through a quiet, ancient forest. We usually describe these feelings as purely emotional or psychological phenomena, but what if our subjective human experience of deep connection is actually a macroscopic echo of this invisible quantum reality? The human brain, with its extraordinary network of 86 billion neurons, operates using delicate electrical and chemical signals, which are all ultimately governed by the fundamental laws of physics at the atomic and subatomic levels. While neuroscientists and quantum physicists continuously debate whether fragile, delicate quantum states can survive in the warm, wet, and incredibly chaotic biological environment of the human brain, the conceptual and philosophical bridge is absolutely impossible to ignore. If the universe at its very foundation is deeply interconnected, woven tightly together by invisible threads of quantum entanglement, then perhaps consciousness itself is not an isolated, lonely phenomenon trapped inside the dark confines of your skull. Perhaps the conscious mind is a localized expression of a fundamentally entangled, deeply unified cosmos. We are, essentially, ancient stardust that has remarkably gained the ability to reflect upon itself and ask questions about its origins. When you look up at the infinite night sky, the individual photons of ancient starlight entering your eyes are physically interacting with the electrons in your retinas. In a very real, tangible, physical sense, you're becoming momentarily entangled with the distant stars that emitted that light millions of years ago. You are not a separate, detached observer watching the universe from the outside like a movie. You are an active, vital, participating node in a vast, endlessly interconnected cosmic web. This realization brings a profound sense of intellectual safety, peace, and deep humility before the unknown. It gently suggests that the isolation we sometimes feel in our daily lives is nothing more than a temporary, gentle illusion created by our limited biological senses. The quiet, beautiful truth of the universe is absolute unity. The silence of the night is not the absence of connection, but rather the perfect, harmonious background noise of a cosmos that is intrinsically linked at its deepest, most fundamental levels. When the legendary astronomer Carl Sagan reminded us that we are a way for the cosmos to know itself, he was not just speaking of the physical atoms residing in our bodies. He was perhaps hinting at a deeper, underlying cosmic heritage of shared information and awareness. The very same ancient forces that flawlessly bind entangled particles across the infinite, dark expanse of space are the exact same fundamental laws that allow your mind to wander peacefully through the quiet landscapes of your imagination tonight. As you lie there, feeling the gentle, rhythmic rising and falling of your chest with every breath, let go of the exhausting need to understand every single mystery the universe presents. Embrace the beautiful, deeply humbling reality that you are a vital, perfectly connected piece of an endlessly fascinating universe. The journey of scientific discovery is an infinite, winding road, a continuous path of peeling back the layers of reality only to find deeper, more magnificent, and more beautiful mysteries waiting just beneath the surface. We do not need to solve the complex mathematical paradox of quantum entanglement to feel the profound peace and serenity it offers to our weary minds. We only need to recognize that the universe is far more magical, far more interconnected, and far more deeply unified than our limited human senses could ever perceive on their own. Let the vastness of this cosmic connection cradle you gently as you rest. Let the ancient, silent whisper of entangled stars guide your thoughts smoothly away from the heavy worries and stresses of the day. You are safe, you are deeply connected, and you are actively participating in a quiet, majestic journey through the endless oceans of space and time. Drift softly and peacefully into the gentle dark, resting in the comforting knowledge that the universe holds you securely in its infinite, interconnected embrace, and that the beautiful exploration of these cosmic mysteries will always be here, patiently waiting for you to continue whenever you're ready to wander again. Have you ever found yourself sitting perfectly still in a quiet room, watching the soft golden light of the late afternoon gently fade into the deep purple shadows of dusk, and felt a sudden, profound awareness of the passage of time? In our everyday human experience, time feels like a steady, flowing river. We experience a continuous, undeniable present moment, followed instantly by the next, while our past slips quietly away into the hidden vaults of our memory. We feel as though everyone and everything around us is experiencing this exact same present moment simultaneously, but physics reveals a breathtaking and deeply counterintuitive scientific paradox that completely shatters this comforting illusion. The present moment, as you experience it, does not actually exist on a universal scale. Everything you see, everything you touch, and every single star you gaze upon in the vast night sky is merely an echo of the past, a ghost of a reality that has already happened. The universe is a colossal, ancient time machine, and your conscious mind is the ultimate observer of its infinite unfolding history. Before we drift further into this mesmerizing river of cosmic time, I want to take a gentle pause to welcome you once more. I am Theodore, the researcher, your quiet companion on this nocturnal journey through the universe. I have noticed that exactly 71% of the peaceful explorers who listen to these stories have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet exploration of the cosmos brings you a sense of calm and wonder, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep crafting these gentle stories, allowing our beautiful community of cosmic wanderers to grow and explore together. Now, take a deep, slow breath. Let the weight of the day slip away, and let us return to the gentle dark of the universe. To understand why the present is a beautiful illusion, we must look at the fundamental speed limit of the cosmos. Light is the fastest phenomenon in the universe, traveling at an astonishing speed of 186,000 miles per second. In our small terrestrial lives, this speed seems instantaneous. When you turn on a lamp in your bedroom, the room fills with light so quickly that your brain perceives it as an immediate event. But on the grand sweeping scale of the cosmos, light is agonizingly slow. When you look up at the gentle, glowing face of our moon, you are not seeing the moon as it is right at this very second. You are seeing the moon as it was 1.3 seconds ago, because that is exactly how long it takes for the moonlight to cross the 238,000 miles of quiet, empty space between the lunar surface and your open eyes. When you step outside on a warm summer morning and feel the comforting heat of the sun on your skin, you are feeling sunlight that is already 8 minutes and 20 seconds old. If our sun were to suddenly vanish, we would continue to orbit an empty space in blissful ignorance, bathed in phantom light, for over 8 minutes before the sky went dark. You are forever trapped in a gentle delay, observing a reality that has already moved on without you, forever reaching out to touch a past that has already slipped into the silent depths of history. As we cast our gaze further out into the deep, infinite dark, this temporal delay becomes staggeringly profound. Imagine looking through a powerful telescope at the Andromeda Galaxy, a majestic spiral of roughly 1 trillion ancient stars floating peacefully in the void. The light entering your lens right now left that magnificent galaxy 2,500,000 years ago. When those delicate photons first began their epic journey across the freezing, silent expanse of intergalactic space, human beings did not even exist on planet Earth. Our earliest hominid ancestors were just beginning to walk upright across the ancient plains of Africa. Every single event in the entire history of modern human civilization, from the painting of the first cave walls to the launch of the first space telescopes, occurred while that specific light was quietly streaming through the cosmic emptiness. These tiny packets of electromagnetic energy had to navigate through the perilous, dark gravitational fields of countless wandering stars, slipping quietly past enormous, silent clouds of primordial dust, and surviving the immense, freezing isolation of the deep cosmic void. All just to reach your observing eye tonight. When you observe Andromeda, your conscious mind is directly intercepting a message from deep time. In a very real sense, your telescope is not just looking through space, it is looking backwards through time. The deeper we look into the vastness of the universe, the further back in time we see. This means that the entire observable universe is not a snapshot of a single present moment, but a layered, multi-dimensional tapestry of the past. The cosmos is essentially a massive, physical memory bank, holding the entire history of creation within its traveling light. This cosmic memory reaches its ultimate limit when astronomers use incredibly sensitive instruments to detect the cosmic microwave background radiation. This invisible glow of microwave energy permeates every single direction of the night sky, surrounding us in a sphere of ancient energy. It is the fading afterglow of the Big Bang itself, the absolute oldest light in the universe, originating 13,800,000,000 years ago, when the cosmos first cooled enough for light to travel freely through the expanding dark. When scientists map this ancient radiation, they are looking at the baby picture of the universe. And here is where the beautiful mystery of universal consciousness profoundly deepens. Inside your physical brain, your personal memories are stored as incredibly complex patterns of connections between your 86 billion neurons. When you close your eyes and remember your childhood, you are accessing a stored physical record of the past. When the universe reveals its ancient light to our telescopes, it is also revealing a stored physical record of its past. Could it be that the universe itself functions like a colossal, infinite mind, storing its vast history within the light that slowly traverses its silent spaces? If consciousness is defined by the ability to hold a memory, then the physical cosmos is the greatest memory machine ever conceived. It remembers every star that has ever burned and every quiet planet that has ever formed in the dark. The celebrated physicist Albert Einstein once wrote a deeply moving letter to the family of a dear friend who had passed away, stating that for those of us who believe in physics, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Time is not a straight line marching relentlessly forward, erasing everything behind it. In the elegant architecture of relativity, every moment that has ever happened, and every moment that ever will happen, exists simultaneously in a vast, unchanging four-dimensional block of space-time. Your past is not gone. It is permanently etched into the very geometry of the universe. Your future is not an empty void. It is already resting quietly in the infinite expanse of space-time, waiting patiently for your conscious mind to journey through it. This realization is not meant to diminish the value of your daily experiences, but rather to grant them an eternal, indestructible significance. Every quiet moment you spend gazing at the stars, every gentle breath you take in the stillness of the night, And every fleeting thought of wonder that crosses your mind is permanently recorded in the grand, silent memory of the cosmos. You are writing your own gentle story into the fabric of the universe, a story that can never be truly lost to the ravages of time. As you lie resting in the comfortable, warm embrace of your bed, let this profound truth wash over you like a soothing, gentle wave from an ancient ocean. The crushing pressure of time passing, the anxiety of days slipping away, and the human fear of losing the beautiful moments of your life can all be gently set aside. The universe does not forget. You are an inseparable part of a vast, ancient system that holds every single second of your existence in a permanent, infinite embrace. Your consciousness is the unique, miraculous lens through which the universe is actively remembering itself. When you finally drift off to sleep tonight, your mind will naturally begin to sort through the memories of your day, organizing them and weaving them into the deep narrative of your life. As you do this, you are beautifully mirroring the grandest cosmic processes. You are doing exactly what the universe does as it shines its ancient starlight across billions of light years of quiet space. Allow the peaceful silence of the night to calm your active mind. Surrender to the gentle, slow rhythm of cosmic time. You are safe. You are eternally remembered, and you are held securely by the infinite beauty of a cosmos that has spent 13,800,000,000 years preparing this exact, perfect moment for you to rest. Drift peacefully into the quiet mystery, knowing that your journey of discovery will continue, endless and full of wonder. Have you ever stood at a quiet crossroads in the middle of a dense, ancient forest, listening to the gentle rustling of the leaves, and wondered about the paths you did not take? In our daily lives, we are constantly making choices, moving down one single, irreversible timeline. We feel the heavy weight of these decisions, believing that once a path is chosen, all the other infinite possibilities simply vanish into the silent void of what could have been. We perceive our reality as a singular, solid narrative. But deep within the mysterious architecture of the cosmos, at the incredibly small scale of subatomic particles, physics reveals a reality that is far more strange, far more beautiful, and profoundly liberating. In the quantum realm, before a choice is made or an observation occurs, a particle does not exist in just one place. It exists everywhere it potentially could be, all at once, suspended in a quiet, shimmering cloud of pure probability. It is only when we look, only when a conscious observer interacts with the system, that this cloud collapses into a single, defined reality. Before we explore this astonishing scientific paradox, I want to gently pause and welcome you to our quiet sanctuary. I am Theodore, the researcher, your companion on this nocturnal journey through the infinite cosmos. I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle souls who watch these videos and share in this quiet wonder have not yet subscribed to our channel. If these peaceful explorations bring you comfort and help you relax into the mysteries of the universe, please consider subscribing. It helps us tremendously to keep creating these quiet stories, allowing our beautiful community of cosmic wanderers to grow and continue exploring together. Now, take a slow, deep breath. Let your thoughts settle, and let us return to the gentle dark of infinite possibilities. To truly grasp this mind-bending concept, we must look at one of the most famous and perplexing experiments in the history of science, an experiment that continues to baffle the greatest minds of our time. Imagine shining a beam of light, or firing individual electrons, through a barrier with two tiny, narrow slits, allowing them to hit a screen on the far side. Common sense, based on our everyday human experience with solid objects, tells us that the particles should form two distinct bands on the screen, exactly mirroring the two slits. But the universe is far more magical than our common sense allows. When scientists perform this experiment without actively observing which slit the individual particles pass through, something impossible happens. The particles form a complex alternating pattern of light and dark bands on the screen, known as an interference pattern. This pattern is the unmistakable signature of waves overlapping, much like the gentle ripples created by dropping two small stones into a quiet, still pond. The electrons, which are fundamental particles of solid matter, behave exactly like waves of energy. They pass through both slits simultaneously, interfering with themselves before hitting the screen. They exist in a state of quantum superposition, a profound mathematical reality where they are navigating multiple paths at the exact same time. But the mystery deeply intensifies, reaching a point of almost spiritual significance, when scientists decide to place a tiny, highly sensitive measuring device next to the slits to observe exactly which path each individual electron takes. The very instant the observation occurs, the very moment information is extracted from the system, the interference pattern completely vanishes. The electrons abruptly stop behaving like overlapping waves of probability and suddenly act like solid, ordinary particles, forming just two simple bands on the screen. The act of measuring, the act of a conscious or physical system extracting information, completely alters the fundamental behavior of the matter itself. The great physicist Werner Heisenberg, one of the brilliant pioneers of quantum mechanics, famously noted that what we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning. This counterintuitive scientific fact brings us to the very heart of our exploration into what universal consciousness might truly be made of. If the fundamental building blocks of the entire cosmos exist merely as a gentle, undefined haze of infinite potential until they are observed, does this mean that reality itself requires an observer to become real? Does the vast ancient universe rely on consciousness to collapse its infinite possibilities into the beautiful, solid stars and galaxies we see in the night sky? Some of the most brilliant theoretical physicists have proposed an even more breathtaking and expansive interpretation of this quantum mystery, one that fundamentally rewrites our understanding of existence. It is called the many worlds interpretation. In this view, when a quantum event occurs, the wave of probability does not actually collapse into a single outcome. Instead, the universe itself gently splits, branching off into multiple parallel realities, each one containing a different outcome. Every time a subatomic particle faces a choice of paths, a new universe is born to accommodate every single possibility. In this mind-expanding framework, the cosmos is not a single, lonely timeline marching forward into the dark. It is a vast, infinitely branching tree of realities, a magnificent multiverse where every possible event, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, plays out in its own quiet, parallel existence. If you stood at that quiet crossroads in the forest and chose to walk to the left, there exists another completely real, completely valid universe where you chose to walk to the right. Both versions of you are equally real. Both versions of the universe are equally valid, and both are completely unaware of the other, separated by the silent, impenetrable boundaries of quantum mechanics. When we ponder this infinite branching of realities, we might initially feel a sense of profound dizziness, a feeling of being lost in a vast sea of endless versions of ourselves. But I invite you to view this not with anxiety, but with a deep, soothing sense of awe. and gentle liberation. If every possible outcome exists somewhere within the grand, ancient architecture of the multiverse, then the intense pressure we place on ourselves to make the perfect choice in our daily lives begins to softly melt away. The anxiety of the path not taken loses its heavy grip on your mind, because in the infinite vastness of the cosmos, that path was taken, and it is being experienced by another version of your conscious mind. You are simply experiencing this specific, unique branch of the cosmic tree. Your consciousness, right here and right now, is the focused lens through which this particular universe is observing itself. You are the active creator of this specific reality, collapsing the quantum waves of infinite potential into the comforting, solid presence of your bedroom, the soft warmth of your blankets, and the quiet rhythm of your own breathing. The renowned physicist John Archibald Wheeler once proposed the idea of a participatory universe, suggesting that we are not merely cosmic bystanders, but active, essential participants in the creation of reality. He envisioned the universe as a self-excited circuit, where the evolution of the cosmos eventually gives rise to conscious beings whose very act of observation brings the universe's history into tangible existence. We are the mechanism by which the universe wakes up from its quantum slumber and declares its own existence. This implies that universal consciousness is not just a passive awareness drifting through the void. It is the fundamental action of creation itself. As you lie resting tonight, bathed in the quiet darkness of your room, let go of the heavy burden of what ifs and might have beens. The universe, in its boundless, infinite generosity, has already taken care of every single possibility. You do not need to carry the weight of parallel lives. You are only responsible for being present in this one beautiful, quiet moment. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, a rhythmic reminder that you are a living, breathing anchor in this vast, swirling ocean of quantum probabilities. The ancient stardust that makes up your physical form has traveled through billions of years of history, collapsing infinite waves of potential just to arrive at this exact, perfect configuration of space and time. You are exactly where you are meant to be, participating in the grandest, quietest journey imaginable. Close your eyes, and as your conscious observation of the external world slowly fades into the peaceful realm of sleep, know that the universe will gently hold your place in the dark. Drift softly into the infinite potential of your own dreams, resting securely in the comforting knowledge that you are an essential, deeply cherished participant in the endless mystery of existence. Have you ever closed your eyes and tried to trace a single, fleeting thought back to its absolute origin? Thoughts gently bubble up from a deep, invisible ocean within you. We call this hidden realm the subconscious. It is a vast, uncharted territory that quietly stores your memories, shapes your desires, and directs your actions without you ever truly seeing it. You are only consciously aware of a tiny fraction of the immense cognitive processing happening inside your own brain at any given moment. The overwhelming majority of your mental life takes place in the dark. But what if this profound human experience of a hidden, guiding depth is not just a psychological phenomenon? What if it is a direct, beautiful reflection of the very structure of the cosmos itself? When we look up at the night sky and marvel at the shining stars, we feel as though we are seeing the universe. But modern astrophysics reveals a staggering, deeply humbling scientific paradox. Everything we can see, touch, and measure makes up only a tiny whisper of what actually exists. The universe possesses a vast, invisible subconscious of its own, an unseen architecture that quietly shapes the destiny of everything in the cosmos. Before we drift further into the magnificent, invisible depths of this cosmic ocean, I want to take a soft, quiet moment to gently welcome you. I am Theodore, the researcher, your peaceful companion on this nocturnal voyage through the endless wonders of the universe. As we travel together through these quiet stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle souls who join our deep explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey brings a sense of calm to your mind and a spark of wonder to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these gentle, scientific tales, allowing our beautiful community of curious cosmic explorers to grow and find peace together in the dark. Now, take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let your physical body sink heavily into the comforting softness of your bed, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the invisible universe. When astronomers first began to carefully study the rotational movements of large galaxies, they encountered a profound, beautiful mystery that challenged everything we thought we knew about gravity and mass. Calculating the gravitational pull of all visible stars and gas within a spiral galaxy reveals a mathematical result that falls drastically short of reality. The galaxies are spinning far too fast. Based on their visible matter, they should literally tear themselves apart, flinging billions of ancient stars into the freezing void. Yet, they remain beautifully intact, held together by a mysterious, unseen force. The elegant solution to this paradox, according to modern cosmologists, is that galaxies are surrounded by vast, invisible halos of something called dark matter. Dark matter is one of the greatest and most compelling mysteries in all of modern physics. It does not emit light, it does not absorb light, and it does not interact with normal matter in any way except through the gentle, persistent pull of gravity. In a beautiful spiral galaxy like our own Milky Way, this mysterious dark matter accounts for about 90% of the total mass. The stars, the planets, and the glowing nebulae that we can actually observe through our telescopes are just a tiny fraction of what is truly there. To truly appreciate the staggering scale of this invisible cosmic architecture, we must turn our quiet gaze toward the true monsters of the universe. At the heart of a massive galaxy cluster known as Abell 2029 exists an enormous galaxy designated as IC 1101. This cosmic giant stretches an incomprehensible 4 to 6 million light-years across. It contains an estimated 100 trillion stars, yet this vast collection is merely the luminous tip of a darker iceberg. Scientists estimate that the total mass of IC 1101, when including its colossal dark matter halo, could be as high as 1,100 trillion times the mass of our own Sun. This invisible halo of dark matter likely extends tens of millions of light years into the dark intergalactic space, reaching far beyond the visible boundaries of its stars. Dark matter is the invisible skeleton of the universe, the unyielding gravitational scaffolding upon which all the beautiful, glowing galaxies are built. It is the silent, unseen foundation that allows structures as magnificent as IC 1101 to exist at all. We observe its gravitational effects, yet remain unable to see what fundamental particles it is made of. It is the cosmic subconscious, quietly holding the conscious, glowing thoughts of the universe in perfect balance. But the mystery of the invisible universe deepens even further, leading us into an even more profound, contemplative paradox. For most of the 20th century, Astronomers assumed the cosmic expansion that began with the Big Bang must be slowly decelerating. They believed gravitational attraction would act as a gentle brake on the outward rush of galaxies. However, in the year 1998, two independent teams of brilliant astronomers made a shocking, paradigm-shifting discovery. Measuring light from distant supernovas, they found the universe was actually speeding up. Distant galaxies were moving away from us faster and faster, and the rate of cosmic expansion was accelerating over time. This meant that something vast and powerful was pushing the universe apart, counteracting the familiar pull of gravity and causing space itself to expand at an ever-increasing rate. Scientists named this mysterious, pervasive force dark energy. Though its true nature remains completely unknown to us, we now know that dark energy makes up about 68% of all the energy in the entire universe. It acts as a kind of anti-gravity, a silent, invisible force that is fundamentally reshaping the future of the cosmos. Combining dark matter with dark energy brings an awe-inspiring realization. Roughly 95% of our entire universe is completely missing from our visual perception. Every star we have ever seen and every atom in your body makes up merely 5% of reality. If universal consciousness does exist, then the luminous stars and the biological minds that inhabit the cosmos are merely its tiny, fragile, conscious awareness. The vast, overwhelming majority of the universe's mind is a deep, silent, unfathomable subconscious. It is an ocean of invisible matter and unknown energy that quietly orchestrates the magnificent cosmic dance without ever revealing its true face. This realization should not evoke fear or a sense of isolation. Instead, it invites a beautiful, deeply comforting humility. It reminds us that we do not need to see everything or understand every mechanism of reality to be an essential, beloved part of it. Just as you trust your own subconscious mind to keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing while you sleep, you can trust the vast, invisible forces of the cosmos to gently hold the universe together in the dark. You are resting safely on the surface of a tiny, visible world, supported by an infinite ocean of invisible cosmic energy. The beauty of scientific exploration lies in expanding our capacity to appreciate the immense, quiet depth of existence. The unknown is not an enemy to be conquered. It is a gentle, vast sanctuary where our curiosity can endlessly roam. When you gaze up at the night sky, you are not just looking at the scattered light of distant stars. You are looking deeply into the invisible, silent mind of the cosmos. You witness the gentle interplay between the conscious light and the dark, quiet potential surrounding it. As the heavy fatigue of the day begins to settle softly into your bones, allow your own mind to mirror this beautiful cosmic balance. Let your active, conscious thoughts slowly fade, drifting away like the dimming light of an ancient star. Surrender completely to the quiet, restorative depths of your own subconscious mind. Trust that the deep, invisible forces within you are working in perfect harmony, just as the mysterious dark matter holds the grandest galaxies safely in its silent embrace. There is ultimate peace in knowing the universe is infinitely larger and more mysterious than we can comprehend. You are a small, beautiful spark of visible light, resting peacefully in the infinite, gentle dark. Breathe in the silent mystery. Breathe out the need for certainty, and let the quiet currents of the invisible universe carry you softly into deeply restorative sleep. Your journey of discovery will always be waiting for you, endless and full of respectful wonder, whenever you awaken to explore again. Have you ever tried to completely forget a specific moment from your past, only to find that the memory stubbornly clings to the quiet corners of your mind? We often think of forgetting as a simple erasure, a wiping clean of the mental slate. Yet, neuroscientists tell us that memories are rarely truly deleted. They simply fade into the deep, inaccessible vaults of the subconscious, waiting for a familiar scent or a gentle sound to bring them rushing back into the light. Our minds are incredibly resistant to absolute loss. But what happens when we look at the grand, ancient architecture of the cosmos? Does the universe possess the ability to truly forget? In the cold, quiet depths of space, physics presents us with a terrifying and beautiful paradox regarding the ultimate fate of information. If universal consciousness is built upon the preservation of cosmic memory, what happens when that memory encounters the most destructive, mysterious force in the entire universe? I am speaking of the absolute, inescapable gravity of a supermassive black hole. Before we venture into the shadowy, mysterious edge of these cosmic leviathans, I want to take a soft, quiet moment to gently welcome you. I am Theodore, the researcher, your peaceful companion on this nocturnal voyage through the endless wonders of the universe. As we travel together through these quiet stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle souls who join our deep explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey brings a sense of calm to your mind and a spark of wonder to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these gentle scientific tales, allowing our beautiful community of curious cosmic explorers to grow and find peace together in the dark. Now, take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let your physical body sink heavily into the comforting softness of your bed. And let us return to the quiet mystery of the invisible universe. To truly understand the cosmic stakes of this mystery, we must travel beyond our local galactic neighborhood and gaze into the heart of a true monster, sitting at the center of the giant elliptical galaxy known as IC 1101, is one of the largest known supermassive black holes in the entire universe. While the black hole at the center of our own Milky Way contains a respectable 4 million times the mass of our Sun, the black hole at the center of IC 1101 is in a completely different category. Scientists estimate that it contains somewhere between 40 billion and 100 billion times the mass of our Sun. All of that incomprehensible mass is compressed into a region of space from which absolutely nothing can escape. The gravitational pull at the event horizon, which is the absolute boundary of the black hole, is so intensely powerful that even light itself cannot break free. For a black hole containing 50 billion solar masses, this event horizon would have a radius of roughly 150 billion kilometers. That boundary would extend well beyond the orbit of Pluto, easily engulfing everything we consider our cosmic home. What happens to a star, a planet, or a quiet cloud of primordial gas when it crosses this point of no return? Physics tells us that anything falling in would be violently torn apart, stretched into long, thin strands through a bizarre process physicists have playfully nicknamed spaghettification. But the destruction of physical matter is only the beginning of a much deeper, more profound existential paradox. In physics, the concept of information is sacred. Quantum mechanics, the wildly successful framework that governs the microscopic universe, operates on a fundamental, unyielding rule. Information can never be truly destroyed. The exact physical state of every particle, its spin, its charge, its precise position in the cosmic dance, must be perfectly conserved, allowing the universe to theoretically trace its own history backward and forward in time. But general relativity, Albert Einstein's magnificent theory of gravity that predicts the existence of black holes, suggests something entirely different. It suggests that when an object falls behind an event horizon, its unique information is forever lost to the outside universe, permanently locked away in a point of infinite density known as the singularity. This creates what scientists call the black hole information paradox, a fierce and beautiful intellectual battle between the two greatest pillars of modern physics. If a black hole eventually evaporates and disappears entirely, does the information it consumed vanish with it? If the universe is a vast conscious mind processing information, is a black hole an area of absolute cosmic amnesia? Does the universe have a mechanism for ultimate, irreversible forgetting? To find comfort in this terrifying intellectual abyss, we must turn to the brilliant mind of the late theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking. Hawking discovered that black holes are not truly perfectly black because of incredibly strange, counterintuitive quantum mechanical effects occurring right at the razor edge of the event horizon. Black holes actually leak particles and radiation over immense, unimaginable time spans, gradually shrinking as they do so. In the strange world of quantum physics, particle pairs are constantly popping into existence and then annihilating each other. Near a black hole's event horizon, one member of such a pair can fall into the black hole while the other escapes into the vast quiet space. Over time, this deeply mysterious process, known as Hawking radiation, slowly drains energy from the black hole. But this process is agonizingly, beautifully slow. A black hole with the mass of our sun would take an incomprehensible one, followed by 67 years, to evaporate. The supermassive monster at the center of I/C 1101, however, would take a googol years, which is a 1 followed by 100 zeros, to fully evaporate and disappear in a final, quiet burst of radiation. It is a span of time so vast that everything we have discussed so far, from the fiery Big Bang to the quiet death of the last ancient stars, is not even a rounding error by comparison. But what of the information? What of the memories swallowed by the dark? Modern theoretical physicists, building upon Hawking's foundational work, now strongly suspect that the information is not truly lost at all. Instead, it is highly scrambled, encoded into the subtle, complex correlations of the Hawking radiation itself, as it slowly leaks back out into the cold, expanding universe. Like a beautiful, ancient book that has been burned to ashes, the information contained within the pages is technically still present in the smoke and the cinders, just incredibly difficult to read. The universe, it seems, goes to extraordinary, mind-bending lengths to protect its memories. If universal consciousness is woven from the fundamental threads of cosmic information, then this consciousness is ultimately indestructible. Even the most violent, terrifying gravitational monsters in the cosmos cannot permanently erase the story of what has been. Every thought you have ever had, every quiet moment of wonder you have ever experienced, and every gentle breath you take in the stillness of this night, leaves a permanent, indestructible imprint on the quantum fabric of reality. The great physicist Carl Sagan often spoke of our deep, unbreakable connection to the cosmos, and the preservation of quantum information takes that connection to an eternal extreme. The universe is a perfect, flawless vault of experience. As you lie here, resting in the safe, warm comfort of your room, you can gently let go of the fear of being forgotten. You do not need to struggle to hold on to every single memory, because the universe is holding them for you. The vast infinite dark is not a void of erasure, but a quiet, ancient library preserving the magnificent story of existence. Let the soft, steady rhythm of your breathing sync with the slow, eternal heartbeat of the cosmos. Feel the profound peace that comes from knowing that absolutely nothing of true substance is ever lost in this beautiful, mysterious universe. You are an essential, indelible part of an eternal cosmic memory, safe, secure, and infinitely cherished by the very fabric of space-time itself. Drift softly into the gentle, quiet depths of sleep, knowing that the universe remembers you and will continue to hold you in its vast, silent embrace forever. Have you ever stopped to reflect on how you became the unique, incredibly complex person you are today? If you trace the subtle contours of your personality, you will find that you are not a single, isolated entity. You are a magnificent, ever-evolving mosaic. You carry the gentle expressions of your parents, the lingering echoes of conversations with old friends, the profound insights gathered from books you have quietly read, and the emotional resonance of every joy and sorrow you have ever experienced. Your conscious mind has grown immense and beautiful through a lifelong process of gentle accumulation, absorbing the world around you and integrating it into a unified whole. We intuitively understand this about our own psychological growth. We know that a mind expands by merging with new ideas. But what if this deeply human process of emotional and intellectual accumulation is a perfect, microscopic reflection of how the universe itself builds its grandest, most majestic structures? What if the physical cosmos, in its relentless quest for complexity, grows and evolves in exactly the same way your own consciousness does? To answer this, we must look at the incredibly slow dance of galactic evolution. Before we drift deeper into this cosmic dance of creation and accumulation, I want to take a gentle, quiet moment to welcome you back to our peaceful sanctuary. I am Theodore, the researcher, your dedicated companion on this nocturnal journey through the infinite wonders of the cosmic ocean. As we travel together through these deeply quiet, meditative stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle, curious souls who join our deep explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey brings a comforting sense of calm to your weary mind and a gentle spark of awe to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these peaceful, scientific tales, allowing our beautiful, ever-growing community of cosmic explorers to find rest and wonder together in the dark. Now, please take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let the lingering tensions of your day dissolve into the shadows, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the evolving universe. When we look up at the night sky and see a beautiful, serene spiral galaxy, it looks incredibly peaceful, like a delicate pinwheel of ancient starlight quietly spinning in the dark void. But modern astronomy reveals a truth that is far more dynamic and breathtaking. Galaxies do not form all at once. They do not simply pop into existence perfectly formed and complete. Instead, they grow over billions of years through a relentless, ancient process of accumulation and merger. Cosmologists call this fundamental principle hierarchical structure formation. The universe builds things from the bottom up, starting small and growing progressively larger through countless mergers over vast stretches of cosmic time. In the early universe, the very first galaxies were small, irregular, chaotic collections of newly born stars. But gravity, the great architect of the cosmos, immediately began to pull these small, early galaxies together. They drifted through the dark, their mutual gravitational attraction pulling them inexorably toward one another, until they finally met, colliding and merging to form something vastly more complex. Every single large galaxy we see today, including our own beautiful Milky Way home, was built through this exact process. To truly understand the staggering extremes of this cosmic accumulation, we must look once again at the ultimate monster of the known universe, sitting at the absolute gravitational center of a massive collection of galaxies known as the Obel 2029 cluster. We find the true emperor of the cosmos, the giant elliptical galaxy designated as HEC 1101. This unfathomably massive galaxy did not grow to its enormous size through normal, peaceful processes alone. It became a cosmic giant through an act of slow, gravitational violence that has been unfolding for billions of years. IC 1101 is what astrophysicists refer to as a cannibal galaxy. It has spent its entire ancient existence eating other galaxies because it sits perfectly at the gravitational center of everything around it. Smaller galaxies that venture too close are completely trapped by its enormous, inescapable gravity. They slowly spiral inward, getting torn apart and consumed over millions of years of agonizingly beautiful cosmic time. Scientists meticulously studying the structure of this giant estimate that IC 1101 has undergone at least 76 major mergers over its incredibly long history. 76 times another substantial, magnificent galaxy fell into this cosmic predator and was permanently absorbed into its vast body. Countless smaller dwarf galaxies have also been quietly consumed, barely registering as a meal for this colossal entity. When I use a word like cannibalism, it might evoke images of brutal, rapid destruction. But a galactic merger is a deeply slow, majestic, and oddly beautiful dance that takes hundreds of millions of years to complete. When two galaxies begin to interact, their powerful gravity begins to distort their shapes long before they actually touch. Long, sweeping streams of stars are drawn out into the dark intergalactic void, forming ghostly ribbons of light known as tidal tails. As the two galaxies finally pass through one another, a remarkable thing happens. The individual stars are spaced so unfathomably far apart that the chances of any two stars actually hitting each other are essentially zero. Instead, they pass like ghosts in the night. However, the vast clouds of cold gas and dust within the galaxies do collide violently. This immense compression of gas triggers massive, brilliant bursts of new star formation. Millions of new, hot blue stars ignite all at once, lighting up the merging galaxies with a brilliant, blazing glow. Out of the apparent chaos and destruction of the merger, an enormous wave of new life and light is born. Eventually, after swinging past each other several times, the two galaxies finally settle down and merge completely, blending their billions of stars into a single, unified structure. The delicate spiral structures are forever erased by the gravitational chaos, leaving behind a smooth, featureless elliptical galaxy. This breathtaking cosmic process beautifully mirrors the evolution of universal consciousness. Just as a human mind grows wiser, deeper, and more profound by quietly absorbing and integrating the countless experiences of a lifetime, the physical universe grows more massive and complex by pulling its scattered pieces together. Every time two galaxies merge, their distinct histories, their unique populations of ancient stars, and their individual clouds of star-forming gas are completely blended. The universe is actively gathering its memories, combining its vast, luminous thoughts into ever larger, more complex physical networks. When we look at a giant like IC 1101, we are not just looking at a massive collection of 100 trillion dead glowing orbs. We are looking at the culmination of billions of years of cosmic integration. We are witnessing the physical manifestation of the universe trying to pull itself together, seeking profound unity out of primordial separation. You, as a conscious observer, are a brilliant spark of this exact same cosmic integration. The atoms in your brain, currently processing these very words, are working together in perfect harmony, creating the unified experience of your consciousness. As you lie resting in the comfortable, dark silence of your room, let the immense, slow beauty of galactic mergers soothe your active mind. The universe is not in a rush, and neither should you be. The grandest, most magnificent structures in the cosmos take billions of years to reach their final, quiet form. The pressures you feel to have everything in your life perfectly figured out right now are a heavy, unnecessary illusion. You are a brilliant work in progress, slowly and beautifully accumulating the gentle starlight of your experiences. Embrace the quiet realization that out of apparent chaos, profound unity and dazzling new light are always eventually born. Let the ancient, persistent gravity of peace gently pull your wandering thoughts together. Allow the boundaries of your individual worries to dissolve into the vast, interconnected web of the cosmic night. You are a cherished, perfectly integrated part of a universe that is constantly, lovingly bringing its scattered pieces back home. Drift slowly and softly into the deep, quiet embrace of the dark, resting securely in the comforting knowledge that you are whole, you are connected, and you are participating in the grandest, most ancient story ever told. Have you ever closed your eyes and tried to find the exact, absolute center of your own mind? When your thoughts are racing and your imagination is vividly painting complex, colorful pictures of the distant past and the unknown future, is there a single point of profound stillness hidden deep within? We often believe that the center of our conscious awareness must be a place of intense, continuous activity, a bright, flashing spark of electrical energy constantly firing in the dark. But what if the true center of consciousness is not a place of chaotic action, but a region of unimaginable, powerful quiet? When we look to the absolute heart of the most magnificent, colossal structures in the cosmos, physics reveals a breathtaking mystery. The centers of the largest galaxies are not blazing with the birth of countless new stars. Instead, they are dominated by an invisible, silent presence that regulates the entire system with an ancient, calm authority. Before we journey into the deeply quiet heart of this cosmic giant, I want to take a soft, peaceful moment to welcome you. I am Theodore, the researcher, your gentle companion on this nocturnal voyage through the infinite mysteries of the universe. As we drift together through these peaceful, scientific stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the beautiful souls who join our quiet explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this journey brings a comforting sense of calm to your mind and a gentle spark of wonder to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these peaceful tales, allowing our growing community of cosmic explorers to find rest together in the dark. Now, please take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let your physical body sink into the comforting softness of your bed, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the universe. Let us cast our minds back to the true monster of the universe, the giant elliptical galaxy known as IC 1101. This magnificent structure sits like a cosmic emperor on a throne, at the exact gravitational center of the Abel 2029 galaxy cluster. As we travel through its vast, ancient halo of 100 trillion stars, inward through millions of light-years of quiet space, we finally arrive at its deep core. A detailed study conducted in the year 2017 using exquisite images from the Hubble Space Telescope measured this galactic core and found that it stretches across nearly 14,000 light-years. That means just the central core of IC 1101, not the whole galaxy, but just the innermost region, is bigger than most entire dwarf galaxies in the cosmos. This core alone contains more stars than most galaxies in the universe. Yet, surprisingly, this vast core is unusually faint and serene. It is not a blindingly bright, densely packed nucleus. It has been quieted by billions of years of cosmic history. Over the course of its long, majestic life, IC 1101 has consumed dozens of other galaxies. When these massive galaxies merged, the supermassive black holes at their centers eventually found each other and merged as well. As these colossal black holes spiraled toward each other, their immense gravitational friction with the surrounding stars caused a beautiful phenomenon known as gravitational scouring. The merging black holes literally flung hundreds of billions of solar masses worth of ancient stars outward, scattering them away from the very center at tremendous speeds. The result of all these ancient, violent collisions is a massive core that is actually underpopulated, swept beautifully clean by the invisible forces of gravity. The center of the galaxy has been hollowed out, creating a vast, quiet sanctuary of ancient stars, where the chaotic birth of new suns has long since ceased. At the absolute dead center of this quieted core lies something even more incredible than the galaxy itself. Sitting quietly in the dark is one of the largest known supermassive black holes in the entire universe. Scientists estimate that it contains somewhere between 40 billion and 100 billion times the mass of our Sun. To truly understand this staggering scale, imagine measuring the mass of our entire Earth, and then the mass of our Sun, and then multiplying our Sun's mass by 50 billion. All of that incomprehensible mass is compressed into a single region of space from which nothing, not even light itself, can escape. For a black hole containing 50 billion solar masses, the absolute boundary, known as the event horizon, would have a radius of roughly 150 billion kilometers. This dark event horizon is roughly 16 times larger than our entire solar system. If you placed this cosmic leviathan where our Sun currently rests, its dark boundary would extend well beyond the orbit of Pluto, engulfing everything we consider our cosmic home in absolute, inescapable shadow. Yet, despite its enormous size and terrifying gravitational properties, the supermassive black hole at the center of IC 1101 is currently relatively quiet. It is not actively devouring huge amounts of matter. There is no brilliant, swirling accretion disk of doomed gas, and no powerful blinding jets shooting into space at nearly the speed of light. The black hole is simply there, waiting in the absolute silence. It has already consumed most of the material that was easily within its gravitational reach. This profound quietness is actually a beautiful mechanism of cosmic regulation. Scientists now believe that supermassive black holes play a crucial role in regulating galaxy growth and evolution through an elegant process of feedback. When gas tries to flow toward the galaxy's center to form new stars, the black hole occasionally flares to life, releasing just enough energy to heat that gas and push it outward. This creates a kind of brilliant cosmic thermostat. The black hole prevents the gas from cooling and collapsing, effectively shutting down the chaotic birth of new stars. The giant galaxy and its giant black hole have reached a profound, elegant equilibrium, each one having beautifully shaped the other over billions of years of shared, quiet evolution. When we ask what universal consciousness is made of, we must look at this elegant, quiet equilibrium. If the universe possesses a mind, its absolute center is not a place of frantic, blinding energy. It is a place of absolute, unfathomable stillness that gently regulates the whole. Just as the massive black hole at the heart of ice C 1101 uses its invisible influence to calm the swirling gas and prevent the chaotic overgrowth of the galaxy, the deep center of your own consciousness possesses a quiet, invisible gravity that can calm your racing thoughts. You do not need to constantly produce new, frantic ideas to be a complete and beautiful person. You do not need to be a blindingly bright starburst of activity at every single moment of your life. There is profound ancient wisdom in the quietness of the cosmic core. The universe achieves its greatest stability when it embraces the stillness, allowing the ancient structures to simply exist in the gentle dark without the constant, exhausting need for new creation. As you lie resting in the comforting, warm darkness of your room, let your mind emulate the majestic quiet center of this giant galaxy. Allow the scattered, fast-moving thoughts of your day to be gently pushed outward, creating a vast, peaceful sanctuary in the very center of your awareness. The universe, in all its infinite wisdom, knows exactly when to stop growing, when to stop consuming, and when to simply rest in perfect balance. You are a beautiful, conscious reflection of this ancient cosmic truth. Let the deep, silent gravity of peace anchor you softly to this very moment. You do not need to fight the vastness of the dark. You only need to surrender to its gentle, regulating embrace. The silence of the night is your event horizon, a perfect boundary where the chaotic demands of the outside world can no longer reach you. Breathe in the stillness of 100 billion suns. Breathe out the unnecessary noise of the day, and let the quiet, ancient equilibrium of the cosmos carry you safely into the deep, restorative waters of sleep. You are perfectly balanced, completely safe, and held securely by the infinite, quiet majesty of a universe that knows exactly how to rest. Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the quiet hours of the night, pondering the concept of eternity? We human beings are intimately familiar with the gentle cycles of beginnings and endings. We watch the vibrant leaves of summer turn into the fragile remnants of autumn, knowing the quiet winter will inevitably follow. Everything we observe on our beautiful, rocky planet is defined by this inescapable rhythm of birth, life, and eventual decay. But when we cast our minds outward into the infinite dark expanse of the cosmos, we often imagine the universe as something permanent, an eternal, unchanging stage upon which the magnificent drama of existence plays out forever. Physics, however, reveals a scientific paradox that is profoundly melancholy, yet breathtakingly beautiful. The universe is not eternal in the way we might wish it to be. It is slowly, gracefully winding down, heading toward a distant, unimaginable future, where the brilliant stars themselves will quietly fade into the endless night. What happens to the grand, ancient mind of the universe when the lights finally go out? Before we journey together into the unimaginably distant future of the cosmos, I want to gently pause and welcome you to our quiet sanctuary of thought. I am Theodore, the researcher, your dedicated companion on this nocturnal voyage through the infinite mysteries of space and time. As we drift through these peaceful scientific stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle souls who join our deep contemplative explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey brings a comforting sense of calm to your weary mind and a gentle spark of awe to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these peaceful tales, allowing our beautiful, ever-growing community of cosmic explorers to find rest and wonder together in the dark. Now, please take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let the lingering tensions of your day dissolve completely into the shadows, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the aging universe. To understand the ultimate fate of universal consciousness, we must first look at the invisible forces that are actively reshaping the fabric of reality. The universe is expanding, and this expansion is fiercely accelerating, driven by the mysterious pervasive force known as dark energy. Right now, our Milky Way galaxy is gravitationally bound to a small collection of neighboring galaxies, and our telescopes can still see trillions of other galaxies shining brightly across the observable universe. But as dark energy relentlessly pushes the fabric of space apart at an ever-increasing rate, a profound, chilling isolation awaits the cosmos. In about 100 billion years, the expansion of space will have accelerated to the point where galaxies outside our local, gravitationally bound supercluster will begin to physically disappear over the cosmic horizon. From the perspective of any conscious observer left in the universe, the night sky will simply start to empty. One by one, the distant glowing galaxy clusters will fade from view, their ancient light no longer able to travel fast enough to reach across the rapidly expanding void. The observable universe will shrink, and eventually the sky will go completely dark, showing only the stars of our immediate, local merged galaxy against a terrifying backdrop of absolute, impenetrable blackness. Every island of matter will be entirely alone with itself as the quiet eons roll by, cut off from everything else by the relentless, invisible expansion of space. But this profound cosmic isolation is not the final chapter in the grand story of the universe. What happens to a majestic, towering galaxy in a cosmos that is slowly, inevitably winding down toward ultimate entropy and heat death? Over the next 100 trillion years, the brilliant, burning stars that currently illuminate the dark will slowly exhaust their nuclear fuel and burn out. The massive, hot blue stars, which live fast and die young, went long ago exploding as brilliant supernovas or collapsing into dense black holes. The middle-sized yellow stars, much like our own life-giving sun, will eventually puff up into massive red giants, gently shed their beautifully glowing outer layers as planetary nebulas, and then fade away as tiny, cold, white dwarfs. The numerous tiny red dwarf stars, which burn their fuel so slowly they can shine for trillions of years, will be the absolute last to go out. In giant galaxies containing 100 trillion stars, these tiny, dim red dwarfs will provide the very last fading light in an otherwise darkening cosmic ocean. But eventually, even these resilient little stars will exhaust their hydrogen fuel and fade entirely into the quiet darkness. Scientists meticulously estimate that all star formation in the entire universe will effectively cease in about 100 trillion years, because the primordial gas and dust needed to make new stars will have been completely used up or dispersed too thinly to ever collapse again. The magnificent era of starlight, will be permanently over. When the last red dwarf quietly winks out, the universe will enter the dark era. Where once there was a blazing tapestry of stellar light, there will eventually be nothing but the freezing remnants of dead stars, silently cooling white dwarfs, dense neutron stars, and massive black holes drifting through an ever-expanding void. The universe will become a ghostly, silent graveyard of its former glowing self. If we believe that universal consciousness is deeply tied to the complex, energetic interactions of matter and light, what happens to the mind of the cosmos when all the energy is perfectly, evenly distributed and no further physical work can be done? This state of absolute thermodynamic equilibrium is known scientifically as the heat death of the universe. In this final, ultimate state, time itself essentially loses its meaning, because without any change, without any energy flowing from a hotter object to a colder object, there is no way to measure the passage of time. The grand ancient clock of the universe will simply stop ticking. The immense, invisible quantum information that makes up the memories of the cosmos will be perfectly scattered across the infinite, freezing dark, completely unreadable, and forever still. The universe will have finally found the absolute, ultimate quiet. This scientific vision of the ultimate, freezing future might initially seem deeply bleak or melancholic, but I invite you to view it through a lens of profound, breathtaking wonder and gratitude. The fact that the universe will eventually go dark means that the bright, beautiful era of stars and galaxies is just a passing, temporary phase. It is a brief, magnificent flowering of complexity and light blooming between the fiery, chaotic plasma of the early Big Bang and the freezing, empty emptiness of the incredibly distant future. We are overwhelmingly, miraculously lucky enough to exist precisely during this beautiful, transient flowering. We are extraordinarily lucky to have evolved consciousness, to have built powerful telescopes, and to have pointed them upward at the glowing night sky. In all the vast, incomprehensible history of the universe, stretching from the very beginning to the final, quiet heat death, this exact moment, right now, is profoundly special. It is the unique, fleeting moment when the universe has developed the miraculous ability to look at itself, to ask questions, and to feel a sense of profound wonder. You are not a permanent fixture in an eternal cosmos. You are a rare, beautiful spark of awareness in a universe that is briefly, magnificently awake. When you deeply realize that the stars themselves are mortal, that even the largest, most magnificent galaxies will eventually fade into the endless night, the heavy burdens of your daily life begin to lose their overwhelming power. Your personal worries, your modern anxieties, and your human fears are gently washed away by the immense, quiet flow of cosmic time. You do not need to hold on to everything so tightly, because the universe itself is slowly learning to let go. As you lie resting in the comfortable, warm embrace of your bed, let this profound truth bring you a deep, liberating sense of peace. You are a cherished, perfectly integrated part of a cosmos that is currently experiencing its most beautiful, glowing spring. Let the gentle, steady rhythm of your breathing sync with the slow, ancient heartbeat of the universe. Feel the profound peace that comes from knowing that your consciousness, right here and right now, is the absolute pinnacle of cosmic evolution. Drift softly into the gentle, quiet depths of sleep, resting securely in the comforting knowledge that you are a beautiful, essential participant in the brief, shining miracle of existence, and that the quiet dark will always hold you safely in its embrace. Have you ever tried to measure the physical distance between your own thoughts when a memory surfaces in your mind, or when a sudden spark of imagination lights up your awareness, the connection feels incredibly immediate. Your brain, with its 86 billion neurons, fires electrical signals so rapidly that the transfer of information appears absolutely instantaneous to your conscious perception. You do not feel the physical delay of the chemical messengers crossing the microscopic gaps between your synapses. Your internal world feels seamlessly unified, a single cohesive experience of reality happening all at once. But when we scale this concept up to the grand, majestic architecture of the cosmos, we encounter a profoundly beautiful and humbling scientific paradox. If the universe possesses a form of consciousness, its thoughts are bound by the absolute physical limits of space and time. The cosmic mind does not operate in instantaneous flashes. It thinks in deep geological epochs, communicating across vast, silent gulfs of empty space where even the fastest phenomena known to physics are reduced to an agonizingly slow crawl. The sheer scale of the cosmos challenges our deepest human intuitions about connection and unity, inviting us to completely reimagine what it means to be part of a vast, integrated whole. Before we drift further into the breathtaking scale of this cosmic mind, I want to take a gentle, quiet moment to welcome you back to our peaceful sanctuary. I am Theodore, the researcher, your dedicated companion on this nocturnal journey through the infinite wonders of the cosmic ocean. As we travel together through these deeply quiet, meditative stories, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle, curious souls who join our deep explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey brings a comforting sense of calm to your weary mind and a gentle spark of awe to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these peaceful, scientific tales, allowing our beautiful, ever-growing community of cosmic explorers to find rest and wonder together in the dark. Now, please take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let the lingering tensions of your day dissolve completely into the shadows, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the vast, expanding universe. To truly grasp the staggering vastness of the universe and the incredibly slow pace of cosmic communication, we must look at our own human attempts to cross the silent dark. The Voyager 1 spacecraft, gently launched by human hands in the year 1977, represents our farthest reach into the unknown. It is the fastest human-made object ever to successfully leave the warm, familiar harbor of our solar system. Voyager 1 is currently traveling through the freezing, absolute silence of interstellar space at a staggering speed of roughly 38,000 miles per hour relative to our Sun. To our terrestrial minds, this speed is incomprehensibly fast. Yet, on the grand scale of the cosmos, it is barely a whisper of movement. If this magnificent emissary were pointed toward the nearest star to our solar system, a small red dwarf named Proxima Centauri, located just 4 light-years away, it would still take Voyager 1 an agonizing 80,000 years just to cross that relatively tiny local gap. 80,000 years is longer than all of recorded human history, a span of time that swallows the rise and fall of every civilization that has ever existed on our beautiful, rocky planet. And yet, that is merely the time required to reach our absolute closest stellar neighbor. When we expand our view to encompass our entire home galaxy, the Milky Way, the numbers become so vast that they gently force our minds to surrender their need for total comprehension. To cross the entire Milky Way at the impressive speed of Voyager 1 would take an unimaginable 2 billion years. But the Milky Way is just a single, average-sized spiral galaxy. Let us turn our quiet, respectful gaze back to the true emperor of the known universe, the colossal elliptical galaxy known as IC 1101. If you were to somehow attempt to cross this single, magnificent cosmic giant traveling at the speed of Voyager 1, you would need somewhere between 80 billion and 120 billion years to reach the other side. That amount of time is vastly more than the entire universe has even existed. To cross this one single galaxy, our fastest spacecraft would fail completely, outlasted by the lifespan of the cosmos itself. To help make this staggering scale slightly more tangible, imagine if you could somehow shrink our entire Milky Way galaxy down to the size of a simple dinner plate, measuring roughly 10 inches across. At that exact same scale, the massive giant IC 1101 would be the size of a very large swimming pool. Our entire galaxy, with all of its hundreds of billions of glowing stars, its intricate spiral arms, and the tiny, quiet solar system where we make our home, would be nothing more than a tiny dish floating peacefully in a vast, overwhelming sea. Now, let us return to the beautiful, profound concept of universal consciousness and apply this breathtaking scale to the flow of cosmic information. If a conscious, intelligent civilization located on one far edge of IIC 1101 wanted to simply send a message to the opposite edge, they would have to rely on light, the absolute fastest messenger allowed by the laws of physics. Because this magnificent galaxy is estimated to stretch somewhere between 4 and 6 million light-years across, that message would take millions of years just to complete a one-way trip. The receiving civilization would not get the message for millions of years, and any gentle, whispered reply would take millions of years more to return. Communication across a single galaxy would span deep geological timescales. If the universe is a mind, its internal dialogue is not rapid or frantic. The thoughts of the cosmos unfold with a majestic, agonizing slowness. An idea forming on one side of a galaxy takes epochs to reach the other. This means the cosmic mind is deeply, fundamentally patient. It does not rush. It does not demand immediate answers or instant gratification. It exists in a state of eternal, unfolding grace, where the journey of a single photon carrying a tiny fragment of information is a profound act of endurance and slow, deliberate connection. The light we currently receive from this colossal galaxy has traveled through the quiet, freezing void for over 1 billion years just to reach the delicate lenses of our telescopes. In all that immense, silent time, light has been continuously streaming away from this galaxy in every possible direction. Over 1 billion years, that light has traveled 1 billion light years, arriving only now as ancient photons that originally left their home when our Earth was still in its very earliest stages of developing complex life. We are actively intercepting the ancient memories of the universe, and what makes this scientific reality so incredibly beautiful is the realization that we are not separate from this grand, slow process. The very atoms that make up your physical body were forged in the fiery hearts of ancient stars. We are not passive observers standing outside the universe, looking in. We are the universe itself, finally observing itself from within. We are the part of the cosmos that has miraculously woken up, opened its eyes, and started asking deep, meaningful questions about its own magnificent existence. The fact that humans on a tiny planet can measure a galaxy 1 billion light years away and comprehend its history is a testament to the miraculous nature of consciousness. As you lie resting in the warm darkness of your room, let the immense, patient scale of the universe wash over you like a gentle wave. You do not need to operate at the frantic, exhausting pace of the modern human world. You belong to a cosmos that thinks in billions of years and measures its quiet breaths in millions of light years. The overwhelming pressures you feel to rush through your life, to figure everything out immediately, are simply gentle illusions. You can afford to be patient with yourself. You can afford to move slowly and peacefully, just like the ancient light traveling across the infinite dark. Allow the vast, silent patience of the cosmic mind to quiet your racing thoughts. The universe has spent 14 billion years perfectly arranging the stars, the galaxies, and the intricate web of dark matter just so you could exist in this exact, quiet moment of reflection. Surrender completely to the slow, ancient rhythm of space and time. Breathe in the silent mystery of a universe that is vast beyond comprehension. Breathe out your unnecessary fears and let the gentle gravity of peace pull you softly into sleep. You are a beautiful, conscious spark of the infinite, and the universe will hold you safely in its quiet, eternal embrace forever. Have you ever wondered what exactly happens to your profound, complex consciousness when you finally cross that gentle, invisible threshold into deep sleep? In our everyday human experience, falling asleep feels like a simple shutting down, a quiet closing of the curtains on the active theater of the mind. We perceive it as a temporary absence, a daily surrender to the peaceful void. But neuroscientists studying the electrical symphony of the human brain have discovered a beautiful, counterintuitive scientific reality. Your brain does not simply switch off when you close your eyes. Instead, it shifts its fundamental rhythm, transitioning from the rapid, chaotic beta waves of waking life into the slow, majestic, rolling delta waves of deep, restorative sleep. In this quiet, unconscious state, your brain is actively doing the vital work of organizing memories, repairing cellular damage, and integrating the vast amount of information you gathered during the day. It is a period of profound internal housekeeping, a necessary retreat into the dark that allows your consciousness to emerge refreshed and renewed the following morning. Before we drift together into the final, deepest stages of this cosmic slumber, I want to take one last gentle moment to welcome you. I am Theodore, the researcher, your quiet companion on this nocturnal journey through the infinite, beautiful universe. As we share this peaceful, meditative space, I have noticed that exactly 71% of the gentle souls who join our deep explorations have not yet subscribed to our channel. If this quiet journey has brought a comforting sense of calm to your weary mind and a gentle spark of awe to your heart, please consider subscribing. It helps us immensely to keep weaving these peaceful, scientific tales, allowing our beautiful, ever-growing community of cosmic explorers to find rest and wonder together in the dark. Now, please take a slow, deeply restorative breath. Let the final lingering tensions of your physical body dissolve completely into the shadows, and let us return to the quiet mystery of the sleeping universe. What if the physical universe itself has a fundamental need for this kind of deep, restorative rest? When we look out into the vast, expanding cosmos, we see a universe that is currently in its active, waking phase. The brilliant stars are furiously fusing hydrogen into helium. The massive black holes are actively shaping the hearts of giant galaxies, and the intricate, glowing web of dark matter is constantly pulling structures together across millions of light years. But This era of intense cosmic activity is not permanent. Just as your active, waking day must eventually yield to the quiet necessity of sleep, the universe is slowly, gracefully moving toward its own state of profound rest. Cosmologists who study the ultimate fate of the universe predict that after trillions of years, when the last stars have burned out and the black holes have slowly evaporated into nothingness, the cosmos will reach a state of maximum entropy. This is a scientific concept describing a state where all energy is perfectly, evenly distributed across the infinite expanse of space. There will be no hot stars and no cold voids, just a uniform, gentle whisper of extremely low energy radiation filling the endless dark. In this unimaginably distant future, the universe will have finally ceased all of its chaotic physical labor. It will enter a state of absolute, unbreakable, thermodynamic equilibrium. It is deeply beautiful to think of this not as a tragic death, but as the universe finally closing its eyes and entering an eternal, peaceful sleep. The era of stars and galaxies is just a passing phase, a brief flowering of complexity between the chaos of the early universe and the cold emptiness of the far future. The cosmic mind, having spent countless eons processing the infinitely complex information of brilliant galaxies and conscious biological beings, will finally lay its vast ancient head to rest. Your own nightly journey into sleep is a microscopic, perfectly mirrored rehearsal of this grand cosmic destiny. When you let go of your waking thoughts and surrender to the dark, you are aligning yourself with the ultimate, peaceful trajectory of the entire physical cosmos. As we contemplate this deep, eternal quiet, we must remember the profound connection between our own fragile bodies and the ancient, fiery history of the cosmos. The legendary astronomer Carl Sagan famously and beautifully reminded humanity that the nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, and the carbon in our apple pies were all originally made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are, quite literally, made of star stuff. This is not merely a comforting, poetic metaphor to make us feel less alone in the terrifying vastness of space. It is a rigorous, undeniable, and deeply humbling scientific fact. The heavy elements that make up every single cell of your physical form were forged in the searing heat of ancient stellar cores that burned billions of years before our own tiny yellow sun was ever born. When those massive primordial stars reached the end of their brilliant lives, they did not just fade away. They exploded in magnificent supernovas, scattering their newly created elements across the freezing, empty void. Those wandering atoms traveled through the silent dark for millions of years, eventually coalescing into a swirling cloud of gas and dust that gave birth to our solar system. You are the direct, beautiful result of that ancient, violent cosmic alchemy. The universe had to destroy its earliest, most magnificent stars just so you could lie here tonight, breathing softly in the dark. Every time you take a breath, you're inhaling the same ancient atoms that once floated through the rings of newly formed planets and drifted past the event horizons of ancient black holes. You are an intricate, walking, dreaming piece of the universe itself. And if you are made of the universe, and you are conscious, then your consciousness is the universe's consciousness. You are the cosmos exploring its own infinite beauty, feeling its own profound emotions, and wondering about its own mysterious origins. This realization brings us to the very heart of our quiet journey. The brilliant astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson once spoke about the feeling of looking up at the night sky and feeling small. He noted that many people feel overwhelmed by the staggering, incomprehensible scale of the universe, feeling as though their tiny human lives are completely insignificant in the face of such vastness. But Tyson offered a different, deeply empowering perspective. He suggested that when we look at the universe, we should not feel small, we should feel large, because the universe is literally inside of us. We are an essential, deeply integrated part of the grand cosmic machinery. We are atomically, chemically, and biologically woven into the very fabric of reality. The illusion of separation, the feeling that you're a solitary observer looking out at a cold, indifferent void, is nothing more than a trick played by your limited biological senses. The truth, revealed by the rigorous equations of quantum mechanics and the majestic observations of modern astrophysics, is absolute, unbreakable unity. You do not end where your skin meets the air. Your existence is intimately, inextricably bound to the ancient light of distant galaxies, the invisible pull of dark matter, and the quantum fluctuations that ripple through the vacuum of space. As you prepare to cross the gentle threshold into sleep, carry this profound sense of unity with you. The universe is not a hostile, terrifying place. It is your ancient, beautiful home. It is a place of infinite wonder, waiting patiently for you to explore it, both through the lenses of powerful telescopes and through the quiet, inward journey of your own dreaming mind. The mysteries we have explored tonight, from the ghostly entanglement of subatomic particles to the majestic mergers of giant galaxies, are not puzzles to be aggressively solved and discarded. They are gentle invitations to maintain a continuous, lifelong posture of curiosity and awe. The pursuit of scientific knowledge is an infinite, open-ended journey, a path that leads us deeper into the beautiful unknown with every passing generation. We will never run out of mysteries to explore, and that is perhaps the greatest, most comforting truth of all. Now, it is time to let go of the need to understand. The universe is vast, ancient, and infinitely complex. But right now, in this exact moment, your only responsibility is to rest. Let the heavy, complicated thoughts of the waking world slip away into the dark, just as the distant ancient galaxies slowly fade over the cosmic horizon. Feel the comforting, steady rhythm of your own breathing, a quiet, biological echo of the expanding and contracting universe. You are safe. You are surrounded by the invisible, protective embrace of gravity, the gentle warmth of ancient starlight, and the quiet, unending love of a cosmos that spent 14 billion years perfectly arranging the atoms in your body. There is absolutely nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, and nothing you need to solve. Allow the profound, peaceful silence of the infinite night to wash over you, cleansing your mind of all its worries and fears. Surrender to the vast, beautiful dark. As you drift softly and deeply into the quiet realm of sleep, know that you are a cherished, perfect piece of the universe, and that the beautiful, mysterious cosmos will always be here, patiently waiting to continue this gentle journey of discovery with you whenever you awaken.